Own their own homes. They aren't in debt to the company store. They can have independent merchants and the community amenities that the people control. Like most utopian dreams, it didn't survive reality.
Why did Jack Dempsey come
I think
here?
the story is that
his dad come to work in the mine.
Okay.
And he was the president of this company.
No, they brought him in as a showpiece.
Yeah.
But list him as president.
Yeah. But he was actually a showpiece. He had no interest in coal mining or building the city at all.
Dr. Dortmund in his book tells of when he was the coal camp doctor at Consumers, there was an old Greek sheep herder that had a herd, kind of a scroungy looking herd, and he didn't have any land and didn't have any rights, but he just kind of would take his sheep where there was feed, and people had to put up with him. And but one year he had a really nice lamb crop. Really good-looking lambs were growing up, and as the season went on, he'd go from this lower country up higher for the feed, and he got up in the Consumers area with his herd and began grazing them around the springs. And so the Consumers superintendent went to him and said, "You can't have sheep in here. This is our drinking water. So you gotta get your sheep out of here." So he moved, and the next morning he went up Mine Canyon, which is the one we'll see the right when you get to Consumers, where the mine was, and went up over the ridge and then pushed the sheep over into the canyon, and then he rode away, disappeared. Figured, I guess, if they couldn't find him, they couldn't tell him to move his sheep. So Dr. Dorman says about the middle of the afternoon, the sheep are all grazing near where the tram went up to the mine, and all of a sudden the man trip came whipping out of the mine, and all the miners were on, and the foreman and the general superintendent, and the superintendent said, "All right, boys, go to work." And they all got out their pocket knife and went out and began slaughtering those lambs. And so they said everybody in the area was eating mutton for a week, and somebody left a nice wrapped package of lamb chops on Dr. Dorman's doorstep. They said that the LDS bishop up there was in the group, and so after that the men were teasing him. You go to church on Sunday, butcher lambs on Monday. Bye.